Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Astrid. I'm a Western astrologer and today we're going to take a deep dive into the full moon in Taurus. Before I do that, I want to thank all my new subscribers, and if you haven't already, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. I really appreciate that. And before we dive deeper into the video, I also want to highlight that I offer personal astrology readings. So you can book in a 30-minute session or a 60-minute session. There are still some spots available for the end of the month and also for the first week of December, because after that I will close my schedule for a while and I will open back up in the middle of January. I'm going to take some time off to relax a little bit and to recharge so I can be fully present again in the second week of January. So let's take a look at the full moon in Taurus. Full moons are actually about completion, about culmination, closure, and some kind of release. And this full moon will be conjunct Uranus. It's a very, very exciting planet. So Uranus actually rules rebellion, surprises, and awakening. And hi, Becca. I'm so glad that you've made it live. Very glad to see you here. Yes, the full moon in Taurus, it will be a very special one. And hey, Jana, so nice to see you again. Thank you for the compliment. That's really, really sweet of you. And thank you so much, Tinpic, for confirming that my readings are good. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So the full moon in Taurus, we're gonna switch over to the chart. Here we can see it. It's circled in red. So this time it is in Taurus, and Taurus is a fixed sign. It doesn't really like a lot of change or a lot of shock. It likes to keep things like really stable and very steady. It's a very steady sign that likes its comfortability and stability, and security is like very, very important for a Taurus. So Uranus is the planet of change. It's like 1 degree away from this full moon. So we will have like a lot of surprises, a lot of shocks and revelations, because the planet of change is going to conjunct the full moon in Taurus. Hello, Crystal. So nice to see you. So Taurus rules the Earth. And the dispositor of this full moon is Venus. So we can see Venus is located into the sign of Capricorn. So actually very good and very enjoyable for all the earth signs. So Taurus and Venus, they belong together, and they are about money, love, and enjoying the finer things in life. Taurus is also about food. It's about our natural resources. It's like also about finances, wealth in general. And with Uranus conjunct, it is like highlighting the digital currencies, the CBDC, development in decentralized currencies as well. And if we look at the opposite side, the sun is in the sign of Scorpio. So Uranus rules shocks, surprises, and the truth coming to light. And then if we look at where the moon is reflecting its light back into the sun in Scorpio, Scorpio is like secrets. It is big hidden money, sexuality as well, trust and betrayal, and like really hidden things coming to light. Yes, you're totally right, Jana. This will have unexpected change in your money situation, depending on where it's located in your chart. So what we also see is that this full moon is on the 24th degree. It is a Pisces degree. So Pisces is about spirituality, but it can also create some kind of deception. So I think with all these revelations that are going to come out, a lot of them can be feeling a little bit uncertain or a little bit betrayed. It can create a lot of fogginess inside, but others who already shifted into a higher timeline, they will like really look at it as a very, very spiritual awakening, and just like a confirmation of switching to another timeline or a higher timeline. So the fact that it's conjunct Uranus is like very shocking, very changeable, but it is also conjunct Algol, and Algol is actually a fixed star. It is called the demon star. It is connected to Medusa and to people losing their head, literally and figuratively speaking. So it can also point out towards like people in a high position losing their power, which we already know this is a theme that is currently playing out as well. And this will stay around for quite a while, because Uranus now is in its retrograde motion until the 30th of January. So whenever it stops and turns back towards a direct motion, it will make then another conjunction with this evil fixed star. So we're in for more surprises whenever Uranus stops retrograding. So very big secrets will be revealed. Can be a little bit shocking for those who are like still not aware of everything that's going on in the world. But for the most, on a more personal level, this will be like a really big awakening in our psyche. So it can be a little bit emotional with the sun in the zodiac sign of Scorpio right now. So the moon is also the people, and I've looked at a lot of event charts and charts from countries as well. And I think this like really is like the stepping stone towards revolution and also rebellion, because this is the last moon that we're having, the last full moon that we're having before Pluto will shift into Aquarius on November 19th. So it can be like a turbulent month, because we have like our fourth supermoon in a row, and that means that the moon is very close to Earth, which will have like a bigger impact on us and on our Earth. So it can also trigger more solar activity. So I know currently we're now having solar storms, very unstable geomagnetics as well. So the solar explosions are like really upgrading our consciousness. And a huge solar storm just started last week when the moon was actually in its waxing phase, which means that the moon was leading up to a full moon. So it actually acts like a growth enhancer. So with Uranus, think also about seismic activities, about earthquakes, volcanoes erupting, because when the moon is so close to Earth, it has more impact, and then conjunct the planet of Uranus, it can like trigger the tectonic plates more easily when it's so close to Earth. So Uranus rules eruptions, earthquakes, so this is also going to be added into the mix here. And the fact that it's located at the Pisces degree, the full moon, this will mostly manifest in areas where there's a lot of water. So yeah, disillusionment for a lot of people, for others, a very big spiritual awakening. And then I also want to highlight that on April 20th this year, we actually had the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction at 22 degrees of Taurus. So Jupiter expanding everything, Uranus the truth. So actually this conjunction really stood for truth and awakening. And this full moon will now activate this, this conjunction we had in the past. So yeah, Jupiter is really about luck and abundance. It expands everything. It's also about our belief system. And Uranus, on the other hand, is more focused on shaking up the status quo. So when we had this conjunction in April, this was like a very rare union, and it like unleashed a wave of creativity and rebellion, also pointing out towards innovation. So this full moon is very close to that. And what I can also remember from that time is that we had a lot of farmers' protests. So I think protests will be a very big theme in the upcoming weeks now. I also had a question around new payment systems from Rebecca, and I looked a little bit closer into that because, like, Taurus also rules finances. So the fact that Uranus is in Taurus until 2026, I think it's April 2026, we cannot expect a lot of stability in the financial area. So I think they are like looking now at a new payment system, especially the BRICS countries, to like back up a currency by gold. But first, we still need to go through a Venus retrograde in March, which will like indicate having to review things around money. It will be retrograding back into the sign of Aries. That could indicate a little bit of conflict, and it will also go back all the way into Pisces. So I expect some conflicts around money, things not being totally clear yet, maybe a dissolving of money because it goes back into Pisces. And it will also conjunct Saturn around that time in March. So delays or hardships or losses are definitely possible around that time. So now we have a full moon in Taurus and a new moon in Taurus, which can indicate like a new start regarding finances. That will happen on the 27th of April next year. But this new moon will make a square to Pluto and Mars. It will be like the last intense Pluto opposite Mars aspect that we are dealing with now. So that will then like wrap things up. So I do expect that there will be some tension regarding those themes until April, even after April, because Venus will stay in her retrograde shadow mode until May 16th. So that is like not very possible and not very positive. And oh yeah, Jana, if you have like Pluto in the second house, like that's like really intense, because I know people who are born with Pluto in the second house and they have like a lot of power to become very wealthy. But whenever I see someone born with Pluto in the second, I always know like they can get very wealthy very quick, but they also have like have to watch out for like losing it all, because Pluto can be very destructive, and if you don't use your power in a constructive way, Pluto can also can like take everything away from you. So that is something to like really watch out for. So in June, July next year in 25, Uranus, the one that creates so much instability in our finances, will then be like around 29 degrees. And that is its critical degree. So a date to watch out for regarding finances, or like a big shift or a big shock, is like around the date of June, July. Actually, the 4th of July, Venus will be exactly conjunct Uranus here in the chart. So that can indicate a little bit of crisis, shocks, or surprises to our financial system. So I think new things that will be implemented maybe next year in June, July, they will also need to be like revised or revisited until April 2026, because then again, Uranus will hit its 29 critical degree. So adaptations and changes will definitely be on the table until April 26. And what immediately stood out to me is that Uranus is the ruler of Aquarius. And this month we will see like the final and third ingress of our most slow-moving planet, Pluto, into Aquarius. So this full moon, it is like setting us up for Pluto that is going to shift into Aquarius. It will be there for the next 20 years. And it will make like a huge transformation into all the Aquarian themes. So that is about science, technology, electricity, everything having to do with AI, democracy, freedom, humanitarianism, but also a lot rebellion. It's about humanity being equal, and it's about the people. So during its 20-year cycle into Aquarius, yes, we can see like power to the people, but that will be met with like a lot of resistance. And And I'm sure we will also see a very big revolution, because the last time we had this transit going on, we had the American Revolution in 1775, and we also had like the French Revolution at 1789. So yeah, it will be a little bit with ups and downs. Like, this power to the people, it will not happen overnight. So then if we look a little bit closer, I also want to like highlight the Trump full moon, because this is like really, really special. This is also indicates like a lot of shocks, a lot of unpredictability, because this full moon is actually on top of Trump's MC, and his MC, it indicates it's like the start of his 10th house. The 10th house is connected to leadership, to government, to your career, your social standing, your public image. So the fact that this full moon falls on the exact same degree, 24 Taurus, is like very, very wild to me. We can also see Jupiter in his 10th house is currently conjunct his North Node and his Sun. So that indicates like an expansion of his career, an expansion of his social image, of his public image. And it also is the 10th house is also related to politics and leadership. So with Uranus on his MC, I do predict a lot of shocks in his new presidency, and also like it's going to create some friction in his career area, and he wants to like lead us towards innovation and new things, but it's going to square Mars. So yeah, it's going to come with a lot of tension. But yeah, it really stood out to me that this full moon triggers his public standing to the exact same degree. So very, very, very special. If we then look at Biden's full moon, and this is a special one, because I think with this full moon and all the other aspects that are currently going on in his chart, he will need to stand down. And I think Kamala will step in before Inauguration Day. I already predicted that in the Astro Deep Dive series on October the 10th that I do together with Meg Moonbeam. So you can check out this video. I've listed it in the description box below. It's more towards the end of the video that we like really highlight that. So Meg has been predicting this as well for weeks. So it's like now being brought up in the mainstream media. There are like articles in the mainstream media suggesting that Biden is like too old and he's like having to like resign, and Kamala having to step in for a short period of time. Yes, Kamala, Yana, you know what I mean. So I will explain you why I see this happening. So this full moon on Uranus shocks, changes, and predictability in his 6th house of health, of service towards others. There will be like big interruption in his daily activities, into his daily schedule, into his service towards others, into his health and well-being. So it's actually like a shock to his well-being. So we see that this full moon happens exactly opposite his Sun and his stellium in Scorpios, in the 12th house of Scorpio. And the 12th house rules mental health, hospital, jails, and institutions behind the scenes. It also rules endings, the 12th house, things being dissolved. So when Uranus and the Sun are linked and the 6th house get triggered as well, cardiac arrests are possible, or like a general shock to his whole system will occur. And we can also look at the chart and see that Saturn has been transiting his 3rd house of communication. It also rules thoughts, writing, but especially how you communicate. Saturn is very restrictive and delays and like indicates challenges. So that's why we don't understand a word of what he's saying lately. Saturn is very restrictive in his mind, in his speaking right now, and that's been going on for quite a while. But I guess that's nothing new. At the same time, if you look at Saturn, Saturn is squaring his natal Saturn, indicating problems with bones, joints, teeth. And Saturn also rules time and age. And yes, Jana, he's definitely asleep. Yeah, he's like a sleepwalker. So Saturn, these conditions, when you have like a natal square to your transiting Saturn, it can also like indicate conditions like osteoporosis or like troubles of becoming of age. So we know he's been struggling to take a walk on the beach. So Saturn influences the skeletal so your skeletal structure of your human body. So Saturn square Saturn is also a very karmic payout, and is a very difficult time. On top of that, we can also see that Pluto, the planet of power, is currently located into his second house. And on top of that, it's like squaring his moon. So Pluto's ingress into Aquarius on the 19th of November, it will be at 0 degrees, exactly squaring his 0 degrees moon. So the fifth house, where his moon is located, it rules being on stage, being in the spotlight, being the center of attention. Pluto squaring that, it's like he's done. He's off the stage. He misused his power. And mark my words, as soon as Pluto will shift into Aquarius, he will probably step down. So this is like an astrological influence that is very, very present in the next few weeks. So yeah, Meg and I have been predicting this for weeks, and because they're now talking about it into the mainstream media, it will probably happen soon. So if we then look at the US SIBLY chart, very important to point out for all American people that the US SIBLY chart is like the signing of the Declaration of Independence. So it's like a very important chart for America. And therein we can see that the moon is located at 27 degrees of Aquarius. So this full moon is making a square to the moon of America. So people of America will feel like very rebellious, revolution amongst the people. I think this will make people very angry and also bring protests, especially if Biden were to step down and Kamala is president until Inauguration Day. A lot of people will like not comply with that. So one side could feel very revolutionary. The other side will like really rebel against what's happening. So a lot of friction is present here. Uranus is actually causing a big energetic shift. So again, and it's like funny because it's also located into the 6th house of health. So yeah, if we then look at what RFK is doing, and I will look at this chart as well, it stood out to me that this like happens into the health sector of the American chart right now. So Uranus tends to like change things for the greater good. It awakens and shifts us into a higher timeline. But it is always accompanied with big unrest, with chaos, and with a lot of disruption in the beginning. But Uranus is actually teaching us to, it is teaching us that life happens for us and it is not happening to us. It is like big insights, awakening. So it is actually a very, very important planet. So if we then look at RFK's chart, we see that his Pluto, the planet of power, is actually conjunct his 6th house stellium. And that is actually great for me to witness that he has a 6th house stellium, because that means that he's like the man for the job. because sixth house rules health, it rules well-being. So whenever someone has a sun that ego shines into the sixth house, I know they're also very related to like working in the fields of healing. I have seen it in a nurse, their chart, or like with chiropractors or like an acupuncturist. So it's actually a very good position for healing others. Very, very concerned about well-being and vitality. And with Uranus there now, it is actually this full moon of RFK is currently located at his 11th house cusp. So the 11th house rules big groups of people. And then Uranus, awakening, shocking, bringing the truth to light. It is like very, very special to me that this full moon is exactly conjunct Uranus in his 11th house. It is like really illuminating the truth to big groups of people. And it is making a very beautiful flow trining aspect towards his sixth house of health. So that is like, that really like baffled me, because like what's happening now in the world is like reflected so beautifully in the charts of all the countries and all of the people as well. So yeah, the only thing is we can see like a T-square into RFK's chart, and that means that like the big transformation that he wants to enroll, that will be accompanied by some challenges. And of course you can like expect that with what he's doing now. But with Pluto in transition on his sixth house stellium, he will be like on the winning end ultimately, but it will cause a little bit of friction, this this T-square. So then we can switch over to the European chart, because the moon will be on the same degree aspecting and conjuncting the moon of the European Union to the exact like degree. So very shocking and surprising as well. It is in the 10th house of government, political, people in power position. So yeah, it will definitely have to do with Trump's winning, with things that will change. Will Trump maybe expose some of our leaders here in the EU, and maybe some protests occurring from that? That is like a big possibility that we see here. So a lot of unrest actually. If we then look at the chart of Belgium, because Belgium is like the main seat or the main capital of the EU. I've looked at that chart as well. We see the Uranus moon conjunction in the 4th house, and the 4th house in a personal chart is like the house of home, people that you live with, your family, your house in general. But if you look at it in a chart from a country, it refers to the land. So this full moon giving shocks to the lands, to the yeah, where you live, but like for the whole country. It is like yeah, it's also squaring Saturn on the 8th house cusp. So if we look at this, a shock in the land squaring Saturn on the 8th house cusp, which rules power. It is the traditional Scorpio house. Saturn rules politicians. The 8th house is the house of transformation, also death and rebirth. It's also about big money and hidden stuff as well. So if we look at all these charts, we can see that this moon will ruffle a lot of feathers, definitely. So what we then also see, the end of a celebrity era. Yes, exactly. And that is what is Pluto doing right now. Pluto at his 29th degree of Capricorn, it is like the end of people on a pedestal. It is like showing how they abuse their power, and like it is, yeah, the celebrity status will become very irrelevant whenever Pluto changes to Aquarius, because there it wants to like shift the power to the people, and it's about equality. So yeah, they're definitely done. Then another important shift this month is Saturn is stationing direct on the same day as the full moon in Taurus. So Saturn is currently in Pisces. And on the 17th of September, we had a lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces, and it was stuck between malefic Saturn and planet Neptune, the ruler of Pisces. So I predicted a lot of problems with water, and since that time we've seen like horrible floods in Europe, in North Carolina, and Valencia. It's like horrible. Saturn also rules people in power. Pisces tends to dissolve, and in its lower manifestation, it can also mean like lies and deception. And a repetitive theme that we've noticed with all those floodings is that they were like giving zero help by the government. It's absolutely mind-boggling to know that the rapid deployable corps of NATO is located into the province of Valencia, and it's like a high readiness force, and they like didn't lift a finger at the time of the devastation, and the same applies for North Carolina. So I think this is also awakening a lot of people into reality, and it is not a beautiful reality with Saturn and Pisces. So whenever a planet becomes stationary, the symbolism gets magnified, and it could bring up more problems with water, definitely, because Saturn is going to close in with Neptune soon. So problems revolving around seas, oceans, floodings. I'm sorry to say it, but this ain't over yet. And yeah, Saturn will come into a conjunction with Neptune soon. It will, yeah, we already feel it, because they're in the same sign, but they will close in during March, and they will be then exactly conjunct in 2026, and then it will be in the sign of Aries. So I expect then to the floodings and the problems with water will be over by then. We will then have like shifted into a new sign, so new problems will occur then. It's also about our health, Pisces, and especially our mental health. And also, yeah, Uranus is gonna go to its 29 degree next year in the sign of Taurus. So that can indicate like a lot of natural disasters as well. So yeah, we will have like very intense energy in 2025. Definitely with Uranus at its critical degree, and Neptune and Saturn closing in. And this will like intensify up until March, and then June, Uranus will be at a critical degree. So 2025 will be turbulent. We can also see here in the chart that Saturn and Jupiter are making a square. And we've already seen that. It's now the second square. The first square was in August, and like Saturn represents resentment. It is in Pisces. Pisces is foreign and also far away, unknown people. Square means tension. Jupiter is enlarging or expanding everything, and in Gemini, local people. So resentment towards foreign people or people that we don't know, very much tension between them and between local people. So that's also what we witness now in the Netherlands. There was a lot of violence against Israeli soccer fans. These teams are, and I feel bad for saying it, these teams are likely to spread and get out of hand more by the end of December, because now the tension aspect will build up until the end of December. So on a more personal level, whenever Saturn shifts direction, it can feel like the pressure cooker is starting to release a bit of steam now. There could be like a little sense of relief, because whenever Saturn goes back, it is like reviewing the lessons that it wants to implement. So now that it moves direct and a more forward motion, things could also move ahead that were like a little bit stuck for the last couple of months. So Where you put your energy during the retro, now when it becomes direct, you will see more results. And those heaviness that might get a little bit lifted, that will start to be noticeable by the end of November, middle of December. The things or the obstacles could feel less severe from that time onward. Also important to mention is that on the 25th of November, Mercury will start to turn retrograde. So if you have to sign anything, if you need to like back certain files or numbers or important things, if you need to like back them up, it's a good time to do that now. Everything connected to speaking, writing, and devices, double check them now, correct everything, because if you will wait until the retrograde motion, it's going to square Saturn, so that could indicate some things having to redo, which is already present with when Mercury is retrograde, but definitely when it squares Saturn, you might have to like make up some mistakes that you've made during that time. So overall, November will have like really revolutionary vibes. It's like big rebellion in a lot of countries. It's like a big shock to the system, but it's trining Pluto, so it's like positively reinforcing our power. So whatever happens now, it just needs to happen. So yeah, just know if you feel a little bit uneasy or you feel like unrest. Uranus also rules the nervous system, so take some time to calm down and try to channel the unrest into things that could help you in the future. So I will start by looking. Mercury retrograde gives me always feeling people from the past. Yes, that is so true, because like Mercury traditionally is part of the third house. Third house is also our immediate environment, so it's also our siblings. So yes, I also have the same thing. People from the past that pop up again, and suddenly you see like an old friend group or an old friend that you haven't seen in a few years, and suddenly you think of him, and a few days later you bump into him in the streets. So yes, very, very typical for Mercury retrograde. That's one of the fun sides of Mercury retrograde. It's like not all bad and not all doom and gloom Mercury retrograde. It's like always a time also to like go inside and just look at what's happening on the inside. Mercury like really asks us to review things. So it can be very, very helpful if you need to like finish writing projects or finish like very important tasks that you have been like delaying, and it can like really help you with like what's the word? It can like really help you if you have like push things back to like get them together, like really revisit it and like really finish things that you have like delayed. Okay, then we will look at the 12 signs, and I suggest, if you don't know what your rising sign is, to look at astro.com, type in your birth information, then you can see which rising sign you have, because I feel the rising sign is the most accurate when you listen to the readings, but I also always listen to my sun sign because that also really resonates with me as well. So listen to your rising and your sun sign. So Aries, you have your full moon in the second house. The second house is the natural house of Taurus, so it tends to work well here. And it is connected to your money, your finances. So it can also be a little bit of unexpected shifts in income, new ways, new and innovative ways. Uranus also rules the future. So it can also like be a shift in your values or in your self-esteem. And that's also part of the second house. And if you have like been putting a lot of effort into your finances and into your security, this full moon could prove to be like a shock. with good results. But if you have been like lacking in those areas, this full moon could also be like a surprise that is not very welcome. So if we then look at the ruler of this full moon, that is Venus, and it is placed in your 10th house of career. So some sudden unexpected changes, financial changes related to your job or to your career, especially if you're self-employed. There could also be an opportunity to change to a better job, or a relationship with a woman could bring in a change as well. But Venus also rules your 7th house of partnerships. So there may be some kind of change in social status. Maybe you get married or engaged, or you enter a new relationship around that time. And that could also bring in a new type of new security. But overall, very welcome changes for the Aries. So good luck to you, Aries. Then we have Taurus, and yeah, of course, Taurus, this is your moon, it's in your 1st house, and the last decan of Taurus. So if you're within the last 10 degrees of the Taurus sign, if you have like a sun, moon, or a rising there, this will be a big one for you. You will see the results that you've put in from the 7th of May, and like really reaping the benefits or the results that you've of the seeds that you've planted back then, or things that you've started around the 7th of May could like come back now and could be like culminated or end right now. You could like release it as well. But a lot of sudden changes in the way how you present yourself, in your personal completion. It's the house of self-expression. So something could also end in the way how you exert or like express yourself, or how you like come across. So a new way of identifying yourself, a new way of being. And yeah, this full moon has like the potential to like turn your life around. Especially for our Tauruses, because with Uranus, it's like expect the unexpected. So if we look, Venus is in your 9th house of travel, of exploration. So very good time to travel or explore new cultures or philosophies. It's also the house of higher knowledge. It's also about legal matters, educational activities. You could like learn something new, or really like find a lot of enjoyment into diving deep into higher education. The 9th house is also the house of self-beliefs, of your belief system. So there could be like a positive change in how you think about yourself as well, and how you like think about the future, because the future also belongs to the 9th house of Jupiter. And if you are like planning, or if you are a Taurus and you are on a travel right now, that indicates a lot of enjoyment in a foreign long distance country or travel. So good luck, my Tauruses. Geminis, you have your moon in the 12th house. So the 12th house is a very private house. It likes its privacy. It's like, it's a little bit hidden. It is also the house of spirituality and subconscious. But also in its lower manifestation, we can see self-sabotage and addictions here. So with this full moon in your 12th house, you could have a little bit of sleeping disturbances, because you could feel like shocked or have shocking dreams. But Uranus is also like the big awakening planet. So you could like have very spiritual insights when you're sleeping, or like positive signs coming through dreams right now. Very prophetic dreams as well. So intuition gets enhanced, downloads for the future through dreams, and something from the past becomes more clear now, and can also be released, because the 12th house also rules things from the past and endings. It could also be that some traumas rise now through the surface and can be let go of now. A sudden shift in your subconscious. and some important endings related to your career as well, because it shines back on the 6th house. It's a good time to let go of harming habits, addictions, or self-undoing. Algol, the demon star placed on this conjunction, could also like cut things out. Uranus is sudden, 12th house is addictions, so very good time to make a positive change in those areas. 12th house also rules faraway places, so maybe some surprises are coming through related to that as well. We can then see that Venus is in your 8th house. So that could like indicate smoothing over some intimacy issues or power struggles as well. You can like receive support from joint finances, because there can be like positive shifts in shared resources, maybe something around debt, taxes, insurances, or a positive shifts and very unsuspected positive shifts in your partner's income, and actually breakthroughs around emotional intimacy as well. So positive for Gemini, and I wish you good luck. The next one is Cancer. And Cancer, you have your moon in the 11th house of friendships, of big groups of people, social networks. So there could be some shocking revelations or things culminating in the area of your friendship, community, friends that can like change or behave a little bit unpredictable, or like show their true nature, because Uranus is like also the truth. So maybe someone reveals himself and how they think about you. But it could also mean like meeting friends out of the blue, unexpected social gatherings, and maybe you meet someone because Venus is actually in your 7th house of long-term commitment. So yeah, long-term goals or aspirations, dreams could undergo like changes, and that could be like, and yes, Yana, unexpected desires. That is very, very well commented. Unexpected desires, you're totally right. So yeah, just like things changing in your social community, or taking like sudden action towards your goals or dreams, and be like ready to present that in your society or to your groups or your groups of friends as well. Or maybe the 11th house could also be like present a project and is like going viral in society or on the internet. It can be like very, very well being like well received by others. So like-minded people could prove to be like a little bit shocking or extra reactive, so keep that in mind. And Jana, yeah, you have like a very, very good intuition. Thank you. So Venus in your 7th house, dear Cancers, that could also like indicate that you suddenly meet someone from your friend group, but like in a more romantic way. It could also be like an unexpected new relationship. You could improve your relationships, attract new money with business partnerships as well, make more sales. That is also part of the 7th house. Or your audience could become more financially rewarding. And if you already have a relationship, financial help from a partner could also come, or like just sharing a lot of love with your partner, and the relationship is just like being very lovey-dovey, and it goes very well in this next month. And I hope always. So a love attraction could also become more long-term, because Venus is in the 7th house of long-term commitment. But you will generally be like accepted and feel loved by other people, and pleasures are coming through other people towards you. So good luck, Cancer. Then we have Leo. Your moon is in the 10th house of career, public image, social standing, self-employment, who you are in the world. So if Leos have like important placements around 24 degrees, this moon is actually squaring your sign. So this makes it very action-packed for you. So if you are one of the people who has placements into the third decan of Leo, you will feel a lot more impact by this full moon. So there could be some tension in the home and in the area because it's affecting this axis. And with Mars in your sign, you will be very much in the spotlight in the upcoming month. So very good to make changes into your area of career, and that could like reflect back into the home as well. It could also be like some shocks related to bosses or authority figures, and who you are in the outside world could like undergo a radical shift or be like very eccentric suddenly. So if you've been working hard, this could like be having good results. It can also be very sudden with Uranus. It could be a sudden ending of a job. That is also a possibility because Uranus is very unpredictable. So it could also like be suddenly out of the blue a new career presenting itself to you, or like a promotion. So good time to also launch something, and it can like gain a lot of attention and recognition from the outside world. And if you're like a little bit shocked by the results in a negative way, you can like ask yourself, is it still worth it, the effort, and is it just like not profitable enough? Then you can make like a radical change in that. So completions, endings regarding your career, and it will like happen out of the blue. Yeah, with the star, with the fixed star Algol in the 10th house on this conjunction, it could also like mean losing your head and like getting fired as a possibility as well. Although I suspect it will rather happen in a positive way, or could feel like a big revelation if that were to happen. So it could also indicate a little bit of unexpected problems with authority. So be careful, Leos, with this full moon, because you're like very, very visible in the outside world. It is in your 10th house. So people will like be very, very closely watching you, what you are doing around this time. Then Venus is in your 6th house of service towards others, of health, of your job. So again, another emphasis on career or on job matters. So the 10th house is employment, is self-employment or your boss. The 6th house is like working for another person. It is like a service towards someone else. And it also rules your daily activities that you do like for your own business. That can you can see it like that as well. So when you have Venus in there, it's like you can like be enjoying your daily routine or your schedule, and like have a lot of productivity, enjoy working right now, or experience positivity in your job with coworkers or in your daily routine. And if you were to change a job around this time, you will likely love the new one better than the previous one. So if you get fired unexpectedly, don't be scared. Just know that Uranus is setting you free. And with Venus in the 6th house, it's like easy to find like a more enjoyable job. So if you get fired, just thank your boss and say hi from me. So also, when Venus is in the 6th house, it rules health. It rules sweets and sugar, Venus. So if you are born with a natal Venus into the 6th house, you need to watch out for having too much sugar or enjoying too much pleasurable foods, because that could like indicate a little bit of a challenge for your well-being or your health system. especially if your natal Venus in the 6th house that is severely afflicted, then you need to even watch out for diabetes. But that's like only if you have it in your natal chart. So, hi Natalie, goedenavond, welcome. And then Maison, Mars in the 1st house, you're fired, unexpected Pluto 6th house breakdown. Yes, Jana, if that were to happen to you, I would need to look at your personal chart to see where Uranus is currently located for you. But because I know you're like a Leo, but I forgot your rising sign. But yeah, breakdowns are breakthroughs, so don't worry. Then the next one. So good luck, Leos. The next one is Virgo. So your full moon is in your 9th house. It is in a fellow sister earth sign, so it makes it trine to your sun. It's very good for the Virgos. You can receive good guidance from a mentor, or a sudden shift in how you view the world, or a sudden shift in how you view your future as well. There could be like an unexpected long distance travel to a faraway country. But if you are leaving now, or if you are already traveling into a foreign country, there could be like some unexpected changes in that as well. Or you suddenly want to leave. That could also be an indication of that. So I hope that is not the case. And you will just have like a big awakening in a foreign country, really like expanding your vision on the future and on how you see the world. Then there could also be like some unexpected sudden insights in a course or in a study that you're taking right now. So it could also be related to teaching projects. The 9th house is also law and legal matter. So some unexpected sudden things popping up or endings with in-laws are also possible, because that's also part of the 9th house. And the beauty about this full moon is that you can like be able to see things from a higher perspective. It is the house of God, and with Uranus, things could be very surprising. There could be like discoveries, revelations, or truth becoming more clear in like your higher perspective. So Uranus could prove to be very, very insightful, and it's a very good time to ask God for guidance, because he will give you like very sudden, clear answers right now. You can like really open yourself up and like meditate and really ask help from your guidance from your spirit guides as well. Then Venus is in the Jana, yes. Virgo is gonna become holy, yeah. But like Virgos, they love higher education because they're like they're very grounded. But if you skepticism is also one of the main themes of Virgo. So first they need to like have a big awakening before they can like really dive into the more holy side of life. But I'm a Virgo rising, and I do really enjoy spirituality. So I don't want to point out that Virgos are like not spiritual. That's definitely not the case. Pray and money will come, jackpot. Yeah, I wish it was that easy, but if you look more closely to the law of attraction, it is actually basically what you've just mentioned. So yes, let's all do prayer, because Uranus is actually conjunct star Algol, and Algol is also a wealth star. So that's also what we're seeing now with the cryptocurrencies that are way up. So that is actually very, very good time for that now. So Virgos, Venus is in your 5th house, so very good for creativity, for self-expression, for love and dating, or maybe like traveling with a partner as well, or with a law of attraction, or meet someone on vacation. That's also a possibility. because Venus is like infusing love into your romantic house and into your house of children. So it could also like give off more attractive vibes. Or maybe you might travel ninth house to get a certification, or to like complete a study or dive into a kind of course, and get like certified in a creative matter, or like a hobby as well. That is like also a possibility with this aspect. Also a good time because the ninth house rules publishing. Publishers are found in the ninth house. So if you have like a good business idea or a hobby that you would like to turn into a business, it is also a very good time to publish and get it out now. So market your business ideas, or like study something or learn more about performing or something very creative or artistic. And the fifth house is also the house of fun. So just like having a lot of fun in a foreign country or during your studies is like a possibility as well. Hi, boy mama. I'm a Taurus sun, Taurus rising, Virgo moon. Anything I should know? Well, if the video is recorded, you can go back, or like already now, you can all go back all the way to Taurus, because I've already mentioned that sign. And if you have any more questions, feel free to ask them. So, good luck, Virgos. Then we have Libra. You have your full moon in the eighth house, very intense emotional house, powerful emotions, buried emotions. It's also the house of confronting your shadow side. So there could be some sudden changes or surprises with Uranus located there. I think it will be mostly about your finances, because the eighth house is also joint finances, and it is in the sign of Taurus, a very financial sign as well. So some shifts, shocks, surprises, and money that you didn't work for yourself. So money from others could undergo a very big dynamic shift. It could also maybe be like secrets that are getting exposed, that could leave you like a little bit shocked. Some traumas could be triggered because of that, and maybe because of that you can like now let it go with this full moon, but it will be very unexpected. There could also be some sudden changes revolving around intimacy and around bonding with a partner on a deeper level, but unexpected changes in shared assets will be the main indicator, I think. It could also be related to something with taxes, insurance, inheritance, mortgages. There's like a big surprise element in that area as well. Or maybe a partner has like a shift in a financial situation, or gains from the stock market unsuspectedly, I guess, because of the cryptos right now. That could also be like one of the main themes. Venus is in your fourth house in your chart. So Venus is connected to the home, to the family, very loving place, because it's also a very emotional, sensitive place. It could also mean like, because Venus also rules your home, like the actual home that you live in. And with this moon in the eighth house, it could also point out towards like changing something about your mortgage, or like invest something in a new home, or like buy a new home that you can live in yourself, or maybe something new for your home that you need to loan for, like something that you need for paying for the home as well. So fourth house is also family members. So Venus is a female planet. Maybe a female from your family can help you out with loans or investments in an unexpected way, or could help you out in some real estate matters as well. Family in general can like help you with home expenses or something that you need to pay for your family or your home or people that you live with as well. But it's going to be something positive, and it will like put you into a situation to like manage your emotions better, or like manage your finances in a better way. So good luck, Libras. Then the next one is Scorpio. You have your full moon in the seventh house. So it is opposite your sign. So you will definitely feel it very intensely. And especially if you're in the last decan. So if you're like the last 20 to 29 degrees, it will be very impactful for you. And the surprises with you are going to come through others, through a partner, a marriage partner, business partner, a shift, something that changes in regards to others. That could also mean like suddenly ending an agreement or a contract, or out of the blue, some new one pops up. It's also a very good time to like complete a business deal unexpectedly. And for you, the Scorpios, the biggest theme will be that others will push you and to change in a surprising way. Maybe you or your partner wants to break free from the relationship. That could also be possible, because maybe one of you is longing for more freedom, and that could like come in a very unsuspected way. Um, and there could also be like an unsuspected meeting with a significant other, and like maybe new clients, new offers, new contracts. And if you already like have a relationship, that could be like a little bit turbulent right now, or maybe you already went through a very long turbulent period, because Uranus has been like in Taurus in your seventh house for quite a while, and maybe now with this full moon you will like find the culmination towards that as well. So maybe it's a good time to like discuss what's no longer working, and like really make a change in the relationship for a good purpose. So hi, Laura. Yes, yes, go back to the Aries sign. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. But I'm happy to see you, Laura. Then Venus is in the third house of communication, transportation, your immediate environment. It also rules your siblings. But the main theme here will be sweet words and conversations. This also like a very good time to write like a love letter or a poem, of just like write something very sweet for your partner, to maybe like calm down the instability a little bit, and to like really use words of affirmation. I think that would be very good to help you out in the relationship area, because I think that is a love language that is very helpful for Scorpios right now. So, but it could also like unexpected words of affirmation could also like come through your social media or your website. It's also part of the third house. So maybe from clients, seventh house, that is like also a possibility. So even though some instability with the partner can occur, you are able to like enjoy sweet communication between partners. So it could also indicate like you and your partner have a lovely get together with the neighbors. That's also part of the third house. Or also short trips with partners. Maybe together you will visit a brother or sister. That's also a possibility. And also things regarding contracts or things that need to be signed. Maybe like sign a cohabitation agreement, because Pluto will soon enter your fourth house of living together, or maybe you're signing something together with your partner regarding your house or home situation, or maybe something gets signed in regards to family in general. But either way, Scorpios, this will like be a very changing full moon for you, because with the first new moon, the new moon that we had in Scorpio was in your first house. Now we have like the full moon in Taurus in your seventh house. We have the Mars-Pluto opposition in your 10th and your fourth house. So this all happens in cardinal houses, and cardinal is change, whether you like it or not. So brace yourself, because these are very important houses. They have like a lot of influence. So with Uranus, very sudden surprises, shocks, and changes, adding like extra potency to this full moon. So expect the unexpected in regards to other people, and it will play out through your whole chart in all the cardinal houses. So good luck, Scorpio. Then we have Sagittarius, and you will have the moon into your sixth house of health, well-being, your job, your service towards others. So yeah, watch your health during this time. Let go of some bad habits as well. Very good to end daily routines that you felt like were a little bit boring, or like not innovative, or not exciting enough. So something can really be let go of in your daily routine or in your job. So unexpected changes in your schedule, definitely with this moon on Uranus, like interruptions in your schedules, many changes. Maybe you will change your schedule because it's too busy. It can also be like a big stress factor, especially for the nervous system, and it's in your sixth house. So it can be very, very busy, and you like wanting to end the busyness, or like the unpredictability that is playing out by Uranus in your sixth house of daily routines. So could be a good time to let some things go that do not longer serve you. Because it's very, very busy, and if your job is like too restrictive in some kind of way, Uranus might like release you from that during this time, or you just might decide to quit. So there could also be like, if you were dealing with health problems, and I hope not, but there could be like an unexpected alternative treatment coming up that could like be a resolution for your health. So Uranus is alternative treatment. So think about cosopraxy, chiropractors, acupuncture, homeopathy. All these things are very, very smart to look at right now if you don't find a solution for health problems. The sixth house is also like the service that we do towards other people. So that service that we do to other people is mostly because we want to release ourselves from debt. So debt can be let go of in some kind of way, or you could be like be freed from something as well. Tatiana says, I am a sun and moon Aquarius and hard situation in family, so I hope for the better. Yes, we will get to Aquarius soon, and I hope you will find some answers in that, and I hope that your family situation changes for the better soon. But with Uranus, that's like a lot of unpredictability, and we're going to see where Venus falls in your chart. So for Sagittarius, Venus is in the second house of money. So very, very good for finances. The changes or interactions on your daily in your daily routines can have like a big impact on your money situation. Maybe you get suddenly unexpected, you get sick, and you can earn less for a short period of time, or it can also just like indicate simply paying like a visit at the doctor. But mostly I think it will have like a more positive manifestation. That is like some of the possibilities, but Could also indicate like paying for a gym membership, spend more money on better food, because food is also part of the second house. And the sixth house is ruled by Taurus, the dispositor of the full moon in your second house of finances and food. Could also indicate like spend more money on alternative, like holistic eating in a holistic way, in a more innovative way. um, just like letting go some things in your diet that are harming your well-being as well. Could also be a very positive manifestation of this full moon. So doesn't have to be like necessary in a bad way. Or maybe some of you have already like started some kind of diet, and now you see like the results of that they have like a positive impact on your health. Like a very positive shift in your body, or and by that having like an increase in self-esteem as well. Or some are already like healed by an alternative treatment, and they suddenly start a new job or go back to work, or like complete or end something in that area as well. It can also point out Venus in the second house to like just simply buy things because you're like changing offices or something changes at your job. That's also a possibility. So usually there are positive changes because the moon is well aspected, apart from the conjunction to Uranus. So Uranus is also inspiration. So getting inspired at your job would be like also one of the indicators of this full moon. So good luck, Sagittarius. Then we have Capricorn. And first, I'm going to drink a little bit because I'm thirsty. So, for you, Capricorn, the full moon is in Taurus in your fifth house. It's also in a fellow sister earth sign. So, it is really well for you. Does well in a fellow earth sign. So the fifth house is romance, pregnancies, children, hobbies, creativity, being on stage, being center spotlight. So some surprises could be related to that. It's also the house of risk taking, of gambling. That could also be like a very there could be unexpected changes regarding gambling as well. So you could also attract someone, because the fifth house also rules attraction and love. You could like attract someone very rebellious or unconventional in a very unexpected way as well. It could also indicate like an unexpected romance. But the full moon is more connected to culmination. So someone could also end the relationship, and Uranus is the planet of truth. So the truth may like come out now in like a short fling, or like not like a long-term connection. That's the seventh house. So something can also be like released in romance, or sudden developments in the lives of your children. But it could also like be wanting to free yourself from your responsibilities regarding love and relationship, or your children as well. So like suddenly wanting to breaking free, or experiencing like a lot of unexpected fun from being free, or wanting to liberate yourselves. Could also be like new insights or revelations connected to your hobby, or like your interests that could like suddenly shift, or you like suddenly start a new hobby. That is also a possibility. But also Capricorn, especially young females, be very, very careful of unexpected pregnancies, because that is also something that can come up with Uranus in the fifth house, especially when full moon is aspecting that. So take your precautions. Just keep it in mind that it can happen during this time. but it can also like manifest in the area of like unusual themes regarding your children, or like children behaving very rebellious as well. That is also a possibility. It could also be like sudden shocks or changes or sudden results in your hobby or creative projects as well. And Venus is in your sign, so that is very, very good for Capricorns. You can like expect to feel more lovey-dovey. People are sweeter towards you. They receive your ego in a very sweet way. Depending on where your sun is located, Venus will conjunct it soon, which also indicates like a time for fun, because the fifth house also rules fun, and with Venus in your sign, you could like just want to relax, enjoy a good time, and not too inclined to work hard like you're used to, because you are like Capricorns, very hardworking. So maybe it's time to release a bit and like have some fun right now. So good luck, Capricorns. Then we have Aquarius. Your full moon is in the fourth house. Yeah, it is very special for you, Aquarius, because like this full moon is conjunct your chart ruler. So could be very, very big sudden changes in the home area and the people that you live with your family, with your mother as well. Something to do with finances around the home, with mother or female in your family could pop up as well. But like very, very big shifting family dynamics. There could be like a culmination or a release into that home, in the home area. So there could also be like putting more attention on parents, because suddenly they could need your help, or the other way around. Some very unpredicted family dynamics, deep emotions, surprises in regards to family. So if you have like a family dinner soon, just brace yourself and expect the unexpected. There could be like revelations popping up around family. There could also be like a sudden change in residence, because the fourth house is also your factual home. So there could be like an ending and a sudden move that could also like come out of the blue. Because there could be like also be a cleanup in the home, making more space by eliminating things that you don't need anymore, like freeing yourself inside the home from like unnecessary stuff or unnecessary baggage from your emotional self and in the actual home. So it's good to like pay some extra attention to your emotions during this time, because Venus is in your 12th house, and the 12th house is a very private house, a very hidden house. It is the subconscious. It is like your astral body. It is your dreams, your sleep. Very spiritual and elusive house. It tends to dissolve. It tends to like, it's very hard to grasp what happens into the 12th house. So because you have this moon in your fourth house, maybe something happens to a contract regarding your house, and maybe like a lease or a renewal of your lease doesn't go through, and suddenly you're like shocked and surprised that you have to like move and find a new home. That could be like one of the possibilities. And you could like be somewhere completely new, and it's like not something that you wanted or anticipated for, but like in the end you will be free, and you will like free yourself, and yeah, it will just be like a very big shift in the it could be a very big shift in the place where you are going to live in the future as well, Uranus. So, and because it's like with Venus in the 12th, and the 12th is like very hidden, it could be like something revolving family or your home that you didn't see coming. So Maybe your roommate leaves unexpectedly. That's also one of the possibilities. Or, yeah, brother or sister is moving out or coming in, or like something related to that as well. Or maybe some family relatives need to go to maybe the hospital, 12th house, or maybe they go on a spiritual retreat. It's also part of the 12th house. It could be like a little bit emotional disruptive, because it could also indicate having like a little bit difficulty sleeping, because of what happens into the fourth emotional house and within your home. So be mindful of that. Apart from that, to like really restore the disruptive energy from Uranus, really like concentrate and focus onto the higher realms with Venus in the 12th, because you can like really get supported and be loved by your guides, and be like the your spirit guides, the angels that surround you. So really put trust into the divine now, because that is where your love planet is placed right now. So good luck, Aquarius. Then last but not least, we have Pisces. And Pisces have their full moon in the third house. So there could be some surprising news regarding to siblings, regarding to writing, speaking, information, websites, relative, neighbors, and your immediate environment. So full moon's culmination, maybe you complete something that you've written, maybe you complete a website that you're building on, complete something in regards to your social media, in regards to contracts, sales, maybe a younger relative has surprising news. There could also be like be shocking news coming through electronical devices. That's also part of the third house. It's also very good to like launch a project in which you like have to speak. So maybe like speaking live on Instagram, or like starting a YouTube channel, or make like a major announcement, maybe on your website or on your socials. And it could also be like some shocking news in regards to your nieces, nephews, uncles. They're all part of the third house, or your neighbors could also be. And there could also be like sudden short trips, maybe together with relatives or two relatives. That's also like a possibility. Unexpected phone calls, emails, meetings, business meetings, an invitation to join a group, because your Venus is placed into the 11th sign, 11th house of big groups of people, your friend group. It's also could be an online group. With Uranus placed in your third house, that would be very smart, because you can like make more money online right now. Good time to put out some news to clients, to friends, to yeah, it will be like received well with Venus in the 11th house. And it will also be like good for your future long-term project, because Saturn is in your first house and it's like sextile Venus, your friends. So you could also like unexpected meet like a new friend or a female that lives close by in your neighborhood. That's like also a possibility. And that could prove to be of like stabilizing influence for your future or long-term bond. So that is actually very profound as well. And then I'm gonna like highlight Saturn a little bit for Pisces, because Saturn is in your sign and it is turning direct on the same day of the full moon. So it is like very, very important for Pisces or Pisces rising. So yeah, Pisces have been really feeling it there. It's like Saturn blocks, restricts, feels very, very burdening and really heavy, because Saturn is like on top of you, and I like know what I'm talking about because I have 4 planets in Pisces, and Saturn has been going over them since March last year. And oh God, is he like whooping my back right now? Like a lot of work, a lot of pressure, like not a lot of time to have a lot of fun. But yeah, yeah, Laura, sounds good. Yes, because Saturn now, when it turns direct, it will like release the pressure. So that's actually something to look forward to for Pisces. And like, especially if you're a Pisces, sun, rising, or moon, and you have it located at the 12th degree or around 12 degrees, let's say from 10 to 14, you feel it extra heavy. Even from 8 degrees to 15 degrees, Saturn has been on your back and you like feel the pressure, and it stays at 12 degree for like the whole month. Um, Yes, Natalie, you are a Pisces. I'm also curious because I need Saturn to shift into direct motion as well, so we can have like a little break. So we will definitely feel more change towards the end of November, middle of December, I would say, and some difficulties, responsibilities, and blocks or heavy burdens will slowly start to move into the right direction again. But Saturn rules time, it is slow, so it's like baby steps. All Pisces have been having Saturn on their Sun for quite a while, so it's like a very heavy time for Pisces. Saturn is demanding a lot of discipline, a lot of focus, and a lot of responsibility. And Laura says, my Saturn, Chiron, and Venus are in Pisces, lol. Yes, I totally understand you, Laura. I understand you very well because I have my Venus, Moon, Saturn, Mercury, and my vertex all in Pisces. So yeah, with Saturn on top of that, that's been a lot of fun, right? So luckily, Saturn is moving direct. We are dealing with a karma payout, so we need to be like very, very strict and very, very disciplined that we do not create extra karma. Otherwise, in the next Saturn cycle, Saturn will whoop our backs even worse. So if you have been working hard, if you have like been putting in the work, this could like result in very big situations turning around, and like seeing the results from your previous efforts. It would like slowly be becoming visible more towards the end of the month, and you will like feel like you are moving in a good direction again. So it could also like indicate some Pisces, they are having like problems with older people, or people in authority figures have been on their back. So all of this will slowly start to move into the right direction again. But it will be slow developments in difficult situations, but it's like ready to release the pressure. So that was it for today. I want to thank each and every one of you for following along. And I really enjoyed this video because Uranus is a very special planet. So really prepare and brace yourself and expect the unexpected. Try to stay grounded. And if you have more questions relating the Uranus moon conjunction, you're very welcome and free to send me them in the comment section box below, and then I will look at them later. And I will just quickly read the comments. I had a personal reading today. It was really insightful. Thank you so much, Astrid. You have such a great gift. Thank you so much. I know who you are. I'm not going to mention your name, otherwise you would fill it in your section of the name. But thank you so much for following along. And I also had a very nice time meeting you today. And I'm looking forward to our new session in 2 weeks. So I will start preparing that soon. Thank you so much. Thank you, Laura, sending a lot of love your way. And Natalie is saying, I think your life is always super super nice. And thank you for this. Well, thank you so much for tagging along, Natalie. I'm very happy you were here with us tonight. And Rebecca, thank you so much, sending a lot of love your way. Thank you for joining. And thank you so much, Laura. And I'm also looking forward to our reading, Natalie. So I'll see you soon. I'll see you on Friday. So I'm looking forward. And thank you so much, Crystal. I will see you all next time. So thank you. Bye bye.